Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 has just unleashed its most thrilling ending yet, packed with twists, shocking revelations, and secrets that will redefine everything we thought we knew about the franchise. Get ready, because the biggest surprise might just be the return of an enemy we thought was long gone, and the true identity of a beloved character. To give a quick breakdown of the entire game, Chapter 5 starts precisely where Chapter 4 left off, with Huggy attacking us at full speed. After temporarily evading him, we discover the Denizens, horrific beasts called Outamols, hiding in the labs. Creatures turned inside out by the prototype. There we find Giblet, a former ally of Poppy's, who tragically suffers in fate, transforming from a vibrant, colorful friend into a morbid beast, sometimes accompanied by his pal, Chum Chopkins. Giblet, despite having worked under the prototype, reveals he shares our ultimate goal, to destroy him. After we retrieve crucial experiment documentation for Giblet, hoping it contains the prototype's weakness, he tasks us with activating a mysterious backup system. He offers little specific information about this backup, other than that it will aid us in defeating the prototype. On our way, we enter the premises of Lily Lovebraids, where we prepare a tea party for her, only to discover Poppy and Kissy have been taken prisoner by Lily. We break them out, but Lily recaptures us, forcing us to attend her party with a special guest, the prototype. He finally confronts Poppy, giving us an insane face reveal after all these years. Then, in a fit of apparent rage, the prototype crushes her face, enraging Kissy and allowing us a narrow escape. Giblet and a barely surviving Poppy reunite. Despite their immense pain, we persevere, making our way to the train station where the backup is supposedly located. Our journey is halted once more by Huggy, who clearly still has unfinished business with us. Following an intense chase, we barely escape, only to run back into our friends. Huggy, upon seeing Kissy, freezes in shock. For the first time in the entire series, we witness his transformation from violent rage to profound calm and peace. This beautiful reunion is brutally shattered as the prototype bursts in, stabbing both Huggy and Kissy before we make a desperate dash for the train. After a frantic escape from the prototype, we successfully reach our stop and jump off. However, the prototype isn't done. It attacks us again, leading to a dream sequence of our death, a brilliant fake-out ending that initially convinced me this was the franchise's conclusion. We're then revived by Giblet, who sadly reveals the prototype has taken Poppy, leaving just the two of us. Nevertheless, we finally reach the backup system and power it on. To our astonishment, this backup isn't just a collection of files. It's a complete computer system backup for none other than our second most formidable enemy, Harley Sawyer. He returns with a chilling speech. Well, now this is a rather interesting turn of events, and with that the chapter ends. With so many pivotal moments in this ending, let's break it down into two main sections: the emotional reunion with Huggy and Kissy, and the shocking main conclusion involving the Doctor. Starting with Huggy's surprising encounter, the immediate question, especially for newer players, is why he stopped attacking us and became calm after seeing Kissy. Throughout Poppy Playtime's lore, it's been subtly established that Playtime Co. attempted to create similar-looking toy counterparts to pacify aggressive experiments. This explains why we never encountered a Daddy Longlegs in Chapter 2. Playtime Co. tried to create him to calm Mommy Longlegs, but the attempt failed, and she ultimately killed him. However, unlike Mommy, a hidden VHS tape reveals that Huggy, despite his aggression, was calmed by the presence of a friend, Kissy Missy. It finally provides a full explanation for her creation, leading to arguably the sweetest moment in the entire franchise if you disregard the prototype's brutal intervention moments later. This brings us to the second crucial question: are Kissy and Sesinki truly dead? While it seemed definitive at first, we know they possess an insane level of survivability, having endured being burned alive, falling hundreds of meters, and countless other perils. Perhaps. And I say perhaps because after we're revived, when Giblet recounts the events, he pointedly avoids stating that Kissy was killed. He says, "Poppy, I couldn't. He took her. Kissy is, I don't know. I don't." While it's plausible this omission stems from grief, and is perhaps the most likely explanation, I can't shake the feeling that if this were truly the end for two of Poppy's most significant characters, the game would have made it more definitive. Or perhaps I'm simply still in denial. Moving on to the second half of the ending, Harley Sawyer's return must have been a massive shock. The immediate question is, of course, why? Why would Giblet revive Harley Sawyer? Harley Sawyer, as previously established, is our second most dangerous adversary, second only to the prototype. By reviving him, we've unleashed him, potentially complicating our mission immensely. Was this an ultimate betrayal? After all, Giblet did work under the prototype, so perhaps this was his elaborate plan all along. Fortunately, I don't believe so. Giblet's visible surprise at the doctor's return suggests he never intended for this outcome. Furthermore, I actually don't think this is entirely a bad development, because up to this point, it's abundantly clear we cannot face the prototype alone. Our confrontation in this chapter proved he can decimate everything in his path. However, Harley, whom we just reactivated, wasn't merely the smartest individual regarding the experiments. He was inside the Playtime computer system. This means that if he cooperates, we could potentially leverage his knowledge to navigate the factory and gather crucial intelligence about the prototype and its weaknesses. After all, if powering on this computer system was the designated backup to stopping the prototype, and it led to Harley Sawyer, then he must be the one capable of achieving it. While it may seem unlikely he'd willingly help us, I believe he will. We are, after all, the ones who revived him, giving us significant control over his existence. If he were to go rogue again, we could simply shut down the system. Moreover, previous games have shown Harley is susceptible to blackmail, with his very existence as leverage. He was originally transformed into this computer system for his expertise on the experiments, with the implicit threat that disobedience would lead to his termination. Therefore, I believe we can compel the doctor to join our side. Alternatively, the dynamic could be reversed, with him demanding a task from us before offering his assistance. But the ending isn't complete without one final secret note discoverable in the computer room, which holds perhaps one of the most significant revelations to date. It's a journal entry from Leith, reading, "Where to even begin with this nightmare of a week? They were hiding down in Playcare, probably for several weeks, and somehow nobody noticed it. If it weren't for the accident with that Theodore child, I'm not sure we'd discover them at all. Or Elliot's body. At any rate, Theodore's imaginary friend won't talk to anyone, but the girl, the one Elliot notes call 1007, is a bit more cooperative. I feel like a fool just writing this part. She introduced herself as Poppy, not just the doll, but the girl the dolls were made after, Poppy Ludwig. She remembered me, how we met. She had the same voice and everything. It was made only more unnerving by the fact that she seemed downright traumatized by the whole ordeal. It's impossible, isn't it? That girl's been gone a long time. There's more, though. Things my investigator dug up from an office Elliot had tucked away. Most of it is trashed, but there are pieces. I still don't know what to make out of it. All I know for sure is something big has been going on under our noses, and whatever it is, I think it might have gotten the old man killed." This entry essentially details Leith discovering the prototype hiding in Playcare with Theodore, who would eventually become Catnap, referring to the prototype as his imaginary friend. Within this entry, Leith reveals several critical details. First, that Elliot is indeed dead and his body found, suggesting he is not an experiment. Second, that Poppy is Experiment 1007, directly following Experiment 1006. Third, her name as Elliot's daughter, as suspected, was Poppy Ludwig, the inspiration for the Poppy dolls. And fourth, Leith and the rest of the factory were initially unaware of the experiments, and later had to study Ludwig's creations to develop their own, confirming Ludwig operated independently of the larger, bigger bodies initiative, which is an astonishing revelation. So, what does all of this mean for the future? Clearly, the story of Poppy Playtime is far from over. The game concludes on arguably the biggest cliffhanger in the entire franchise, making a Chapter 6 virtually guaranteed. Our journey is far from complete. As for our objective in the next chapter, I assume that with Harley's reluctant assistance, we'll need to hunt down the prototype ourselves and uncover the mysterious case he mentioned wanting to bring Poppy into, which he appears to have successfully done. I also hope we'll finally discover the fate of the remaining orphans who survived the Hour of Joy. While Chapter 4 revealed the prototype brought them to the labs for safekeeping, they are conspicuously absent from the labs now. Poppy herself confronted the prototype about their whereabouts, receiving this chilling response. "What did you do with them? Where are the orphans?" The prototype's unsettling reply. "Uh-oh, she doesn't know. I did what I had to. They're in a better place now." This strongly suggests they were transformed into experiments, likely the mutated animals we encountered throughout the game. Furthermore, I believe there's a strong possibility we'll attempt to escape the factory. Upon visiting Giblet's hideout, He remarked that while it wasn't much, he wasn't going to be down here forever, he added. And I got plans. Anyway, I'm not going to be down here forever. Hopefully, we'll learn exactly where he intended to go and his motivations. Overall, this chapter is incredibly compelling, and I've only just scratched the surface of its ending. I've already noted a wealth of other intriguing details and lore within the game that I'm eager to cover soon. Make sure to subscribe to Pixel Lore so you don't miss any of it.